In this video, we're going to expand on the gelato example by adding a parallel array to reflect the number of calories per serving. So you can imagine something like this when we populate our arrays. Here are the flavors, and then each flavor will have a certain amount of calories per serving. So what we'll do is we'll loop through this calories array and look for, let's say somebody is on a diet and they want to know what the best or the lowest calorie option would be. Then we'll find that option, isolate the index, and from there get the flavor for that person. It's going to be peppermint. That's the lowest one here. And then we'll also get the highest calorie option, so maybe that person can stay away from that option. Okay, so here is the code so far. We have two parallel arrays, the gelato array of strings, and then I've also added this calories array and populated it with the data that you saw on the previous screen. So, and then we have our constant for the max flavors. Okay, these are parallel arrays. They both have 10 elements, so this is fine for either one of those arrays. So I think what we'll do is we'll create a couple of integer variables to isolate the indexes, two indexes, one for the lowest value and then one for the highest value. So I'll call this one lowest value index. Going to start it at 0, and then I'll do another one for the highest value index, also initialized to 0. Okay, and so from here we can just write a simple for loop, and I'll use the loop counter I starting at 0, of course, and we're going to keep going while I is less than max flavors in this case. Increment, throw down some curly braces, and then let's start with the lowest option first. We're just going to have a couple of decisions in here. This is actually a very simple program, so we're going to say if the current value, whatever we're looking at in this iteration, okay, loop counter as array index when we're examining each array element one at a time. Okay, if that's less than whatever's currently in the lowest value index, or that element that has the lowest value index. So think about this. First time through the loop, lowest value index is starting at 0. You have to start somewhere, so we'll just say, okay, the first element in the array is going to be assumed to be the lowest for now. And then as we're looping through, if we find a lower value, then that becomes the new low index. So I can just do lowest value index equals I. Okay. So we are capturing the new lowest value index. Okay. All right, so then for the highest value, we can really just kind of reverse some of this. I can use some of this code. Okay, so if it's greater than the highest value index, the mechanism is the same. Starting at 0, first time through the loop, this is 0, so we're looking at the first element in the array and assuming, okay, that's the highest, but if we find a higher one, which we will, then that becomes the new high index. Okay, so everything is very much the same there. And that's it. That's really the functionality of this program. And then once we have captured those indexes, we can display some data to the user. So here we can, I have this already copied. I'm just going to go ahead and paste that in and we'll talk about it. So once I have those indexes, for the lowest index, for example, I can reach into the flavors array with that lowest value index and say this is the best diet option. Okay, whatever, it's going to be peppermint. Peppermint is the best diet option at whatever amount of calories per serving. Okay, so just some C out cascading going on there, and then we can do the same for the highest option. Okay, which I believe is going to be brownie chunk. All right, so let's see. Go ahead and run this. Okay, and there you have it.